Hey, this is Todd. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment and all that stuff. Got my notes. All right, this is going to be kind of long. It's like 2 pages. Okay. About 10 years ago, when I was in my 50s, I met a guy named Paul. He was around 22 years old. I told him a story about what happened to me 30 years earlier when I was in my 20s. This is what happened to a lot of men in college back then, back in the 70s and the 80s. Paul was very interested in my stories, and because women in college were still doing the same dumb shit. Many girls who were in the first and second year of college broke up with their boyfriends to see or pursue other men. They figured that if they did not find someone better, then their old boyfriends would always take them back. I only knew one couple where this worked out. And even after being married for 8 years, having 2 children, the wife was still scared that her husband would cheat because of what she did back then in college. Now, the way my girlfriend in college did this to me was the following. She told me one day that she wanted to experience other men. And when she said it, she just knew I was going to take her back. She just knew I would take her back if she didn't find a better man. I was shocked at the time, so I did not say anything. I realized this was some dumb shit her mother was telling her to do. Plus, she had some dumb female friends and other female friends who were jealous and envious of the way I treated her. Her dumb female friends were raised in a single mother household. They told her that friends are forever and boys come and go. All right? This was some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Some of the stuff they were saying were so unbelievably stupid that I could not respond. I cannot believe that someone would say something this stupid. Okay, what about all the couples who've been married for 30 or 50 years, right? You know, boys come and go. That boy didn't come and go. He's been with his wife for 30 years. Plus, all of the female friends your mother had when she was in her 20s and 30s, she no longer is talked to. They've all got families and kids and moved on with their lives. And then the other female friends, most of them, your mother does not even know if they got married, are single, or are divorced. So all her female friends have left, but the ones who got married, the man is still around. I mean, like I said, some of the dumbest shit I ever heard. Anyway, after a few days and getting over being shocked, I told my ex that we needed to talk. There was no way in hell I was going to take her back if she did something like this. I did not want to start a marriage this way. Men also have dreams of the way we want to have a marriage, or we want our marriage to be. And this was no way I was going to get into a marriage this way. My ex avoided talking to me because she knew that I would take her back. So what would be the point? She thought I just had to accept it. I did not accept it. I did not take her back. And I told her I was dating another girl just to get her off my back and to leave me alone. At the time, I was dating a girl named Donna, and Donna treated me a lot better than my ex-girlfriend. It never occurred to my ex-girlfriend that I would get a girl just as pretty or one that treated me better. It never occurs to any of these girls that, yeah, you break up with your boyfriend, but the next girl that comes along could be a whole lot better than you. At the time, I did not want to get into a serious relationship because there was other things I wanted to do with my life. So I broke it off with Donna. But even if me and Donna stayed together, there was no way in hell I would ever end it just to get back to my ex-girlfriend. I wanted no part of my ex-girlfriend's dumb shit. Plus, if she does something this stupid, then what dumb shit would I have to deal with in the future? Now, let's jump ahead 20 years to around 2008, 2010. Now, my ex-girlfriend tried to contact me and see how I was doing and all that stuff, but I didn't want to talk to her. I just wanted to leave all that stuff in the impasse. Plus, I got to admit, even after 20 years, I was still kind of pissed off at what she did. Now, most of these girls who did what my ex-girlfriend did never find another man, and never find another man who is better. Plus, as we men get older, we gain more experience, and we can recognize dumb, selfish women. There is no way that we are going to get into a committed, long-term relationship with any woman like this. There is no way that we're going to marry any girl like that. Women never realize until it's too late that it was never about doing better or finding a better man. It was always about someone who treats you well. This is because you never know in life how it's going to come out. One bad accident, one bad investment can turn your life upside down. So you need to find a man who you can live with during the bad times. Few people have a life that is full of good times. And this is the way the world is. This is the way life works. Because men who are in their 50s and 60s can go overseas and get a very young, beautiful wife or girlfriend, and women cannot do something similar. This makes women feel less desirable. Makes them realize that they hit the wall, which is another reason why they hate the passport brothers. Okay, here are the videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and all that stuff. I need to make some money so I go back overseas and get me a woman. All right, adios.
How am I feeling? It's so hot. I'm feeling so irritated. I really wanted to go to the movies, but I have no one to go with. But I have no one, not even a companion. Every day I'm so busy, but I don't even know with what. When I was in my 20s, a lot of people introduced me to matches, but I always chose the others. Now, the ones with good conditions are already married. I can only blame myself for being so picky when I was younger. Now, almost at 40, I don't even have a choice. I'm not interested in people with lower conditions, and the ones with good conditions are already married. When I was in my 20s, I just wanted to focus on buying a house and a car. Now I've bought the house, bought the car, but I'm left alone. And now I realize that some things really aren't essential, because the company of family and a partner are different. Looking back, it was a huge mistake, because now, if I want to get married and have kids, I'm already considered a high-risk pregnancy. If I want 2 or 3 kids, it will probably be a bit difficult. I missed the best age to have children, and also missed the best opportunities for choice. That's why finding a partner is getting harder. I can only choose to face it alone. Also, when I finally met a good man who really wanted to get married and have kids, my friends supported me in not having children. They told me not to worry so much about that I should focus on my career and that there was still time for other things. I really wanted to have children with him, but I ended up listening to my friends' opinions. In the end, he left, and now I realize how much of a mistake it was not to follow my heart at that moment.
The men in the matchmaking market here in Guangzhou are very clear-headed. Yesterday, a 51-year-old man came to us, and surprisingly, he rejected a 35-year-old woman outright. This man works in the finance industry, is divorced, and has a child. He just registered with us last week. The next day, he caught the eye of a 35-year-old woman. The woman then asked me to introduce her to this man, but to her surprise, he immediately rejected her upon seeing her profile. His reasons for rejection were threefold. First, he felt that the woman, at 35 years old, was already too old. He believed her reproductive value had significantly decreased, and even if she were to get pregnant, the risks would be high. Second, this man holds a master's degree, whereas the woman only has a bachelor's degree. He considered her education level to be relatively low and believed she would not contribute to his career development or social connections in any way. Third, he pointed out that, despite being 35 years old, this woman had no savings at all and didn't own a car. What does this indicate? The man thought it showed a lack of ambition. Additionally, he believed it reflected poor financial management, as she appeared to spend everything she earned without saving, leaving herself with no ability to withstand financial risks. For these reasons, he firmly rejected her advances. Do you think this man made the right decision, or is he being overly picky?
When I think about everything I've been through, I realize that, as an older woman who hasn't married yet, it feels like I'm destroying my own life. Yesterday, a woman born in 1988 came to me, rushing to sign up for a blind date. After a while, she opened up non-stop, telling me everything she had been holding inside. She said, when I was younger, my relatives and friends introduced me to so many wonderful men, but back then I was so arrogant, always thinking I could find something better. I thought that in the future, I would find an even more amazing man than the ones who came into my life. and little by little, I became an older, single woman. Now, looking at the men in the arranged marriage market, I see they are so far from those I knew before. Those classmates and friends, none of them are as good as the men I could have married, and now here I am alone. I really regret not valuing the opportunities when I had them. Now, any man I find reasonably suitable, I'm eager to meet, with only one goal in mind: to get married. I don't want my parents to suffer over my situation anymore. I realize that when you miss the right age to marry, it becomes incredibly difficult to find the right person. So, whether man or woman, it's important to make the most of that time in life while we still have it. And, speaking of men, what they really want, deep down, is a woman who can give them children. That's their only wish.